Now it's too late to escape. You're here, live. So are the people, basically. Welcome to the weekly live Q&A live stream thing. This one is entitled Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. Yes, this is Private Ryan.
Hello.
Private Ryan's going to do the PIM thing. Read the questions and stuff, apparently. Right, so in the meantime, let's have the introductory music, because why not? Yes, anyway, right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Tracy. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Shaya. All the usual suspects are here, pretty much. We've just woken up. If it seems like we've just woken up, it's because we've just woken up. Yeah. Stayed up late last night watching YouTube videos and stuff. After a long day of the cricket, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a boring day for you too, wasn't it? Because you didn't do much.
Nope.
No. Danny was our 12th yesterday. Just got to sit there all day, really. It was nice and sunny.
Yeah.
Right, so you know the drill on the Q&A, by the way, boys and girls. It's put a large capital Q and then a colon and then type your question out in full. Don't use TLAs or PITAFFS. And then suffix the whole thing with a question mark. That makes it much easier for Private Ryan.
Question. What is the best way to consume type 1 and 3 marine collagen?
What you want to do though,
supplement?
what you want to do though is click it like that and it comes up on the screen.
Okay.
Isn't that cool? Now you can read it out. What is the best way to consume type 1 and type 3 marine collagen peptide supplements? Is it just with water? That really doesn't matter, I don't think, so long as you don't like use hot fluid, because that tends to be a bit of a problem for the sponsor's product with Cyactive in it. Water's fine. I mix collagen with kefir, goat's milk kefir. It's quite nice, tasty.
Yummy.
You do you, pretty much.
Next question.
Yeah.
No.
Or statements if there are no questions. Whatever. Where are the questions today, kids?
Cricket is boring. Bring on the Avo tea.
Yes, we did have teas, didn't we? We even had some carbs. What did you have?
Indian food, vegetarian food.
Yes, the team we played against yesterday was all Indian and or Pakistani and or Sri Lankan, I'm not sure which. All of them. And so they put the teas on and it was all that kind of stuff. Very good.
This one has no Q.
Well, we shouldn't read it out then, just on principle. No, let's do it. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Bart. In your opinion, what makes someone a true scientist?
Right. Good question. And at the end of the day, there are many different views on what is real science and what isn't real science. I think a real scientist is someone who, number one, understands their place in the scheme of things. Anyone who genuinely, without any kind of joke, as I do, but who really genuinely says, you know, I am the science, trust me, I'm the science, I'm safe and effective. I think that's someone that needs to be not listened to. So you have to have some kind of humility around who you are and whatever. And at the end of the day, the science speaks for itself if you allow it to. So I think a scientist is someone, A, who's done some science, had some science published, knows how to do the statistics involved in doing science themselves, and isn't the sort who's going to claim all sorts of ridiculous stuff that the science doesn't say. How's that?
Next question.
Yeah, good.
Did you get goats too?
Yes, we have 3 goats.
3 goats.
One of them is a milker, and the other two are waiting in the wings to maybe be milkers at some point.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think one of them, another one's going to milk soon.
Mm.
Q, but
Yeah.
do you believe that doctors such as Saladino, Dr.
Yep.
German, or Dr. Gregor are knowledgeable? They seem to have a lot of subs.
Yes, the number of subs that a person has does not give you an indication of how much knowledge they've got. That's just how popular they are on their channels, how many people watch them. I do need to make a couple of corrections there as well. So Dr. Paul Salad, I don't know, has never practiced medicine in his life. Calling himself a doctor is disingenuous. He's legally entitled to, he's got the qualification, but he's never worked as a doctor, not a single day in his life, ever. The same is true of not a Dr. Gregor. Michael Greger has never practiced medicine in his life. And even if he had, that doesn't qualify him to speak about nutrition, because that's a medicinal qualification. And Goji Man is not a medically qualified individual at all. Goji Man is an ignorant turd. Goji Man is a silly little boy, not a doctor. Literally not a doctor. Does not have a doctoral qualification of any kind. So,
Next
good.
question.
Yes, good. Next question.
Our statement.
Yes.
We all have the right to question the science,
Yeah.
especially when it cuts our own health.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, we should all question the science. Except, don't question me. I'm the science. I'm safe and effective. And don't question Ted.
Would a cup of coffee based on milk trigger immune response like a meal does?
Possibly to some degree. I mean, there is some kind of immune response, inflammatory response to every meal you eat of every kind. So I guess coffee would classically count as such.
Okay. QQQ. Can a type 1 diabetic ever be in ketosis?
Yes. There's nothing stopping a diabetic from being in ketosis. Absolutely, you can be.
Question.
Yes.
You mentioned try electrolytes if we think we need it. Do we test out how much we feel we need? Don't want to overdo it. Any upper limits for sodium, potassium, and calcium would you recommend? Thanks.
Yeah, look, I think that this is one of those things that at the end of the day, if your kidneys are normally functioning, I can't even speak, normally functioning, then if you take in excess electrolytes, you'll urinate them out. So it won't be a problem. Yes, there's an upper limit. There's an upper limit to everything. Anything is toxic in a high enough dose, including water and oxygen. So there's that. I would suggest go with one of the more readily available commercial electrolyte preparations. Sterol's got one if you want. If not, you can use another company's one, whatever.
Question. My uncle recently got diagnosed with cancer. I told him to stop taking the chemicals and start carnivore. Any other advice I should give him?
Yeah, we've got to be careful about giving medical advice. That's not what we're doing here. We're giving opinions based in the science. I'm the science, me. Trust me, I'm safe and effective. What I would do in that situation personally is I would follow my own patented 5 health hacks that you need to know about. 5 health hacks. You'll find that on my channel. There's a video called 5 health hacks you need to know about. Super chats, Juliet, love it. Good work. We love super chats, and we love us some Juliet up in here, don't we?
My cholesterol is high on Carnivore. Do I need to worry? Just kidding. I know I don't. I just knew that you would be asking before. You'd never been asked that before.
Yes, nobody's ever asked me that before.
Not more than once anyway.
Yes, good. So for anyone that's had their head somewhere warm and moist for the last 6.5, 7 years, no, you don't need to worry about your cholesterol. Not at all.
Question. What's your opinion on PhDs who insist on being called doctor?
Well, they're actually more entitled to that than what doctors who call themselves doctor are. Because at the end of the day, doctor is a professional title which applies to someone with a doctoral level qualification, such as a PhD. A doctor is actually a medic. Their qualification is not a doctoral level qualification. It is a medical qualification. And as such, it's actually them that have misappropriated and stolen the term doctor. Actually comes from the original German Doktor, which is someone who is involved in teaching. Okay, not someone who's involved in medicine. And at the end of the day, anyone who insists on titles, that's their own problem, because you can't insist on a title any more than you can insist on being referred to by a certain pronoun if you identify a certain way. Nobody can insist on it. It's anybody's, absolute right to refer to others however they want to. Isn't that right, Private Ryan?
Yep.
Of course it is.
My initials are Doctor.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. Dr. Ryan, then. Yeah. Good. My mistake. Dr. Ryan, not Private. And why are you wearing a Field Marshal's rank insignia on your uniform, Private? Is it because you're on the live stream with the Field Marshal, wearing the Field Marshal's top, maybe? Maybe you're an honorary Field Marshal and a doctor today. Right, so Dr. Field Marshal Ryan, Private, carry on.
Question.
Yes.
Are
Purines.
Purines really a concern for high uric acid or gout?
Not really. No.
No.
Gout really occurs because of an inflammatory process, and sure, the ingredients are, purines, etc., but that doesn't mean they're the cause.
Question.
Yeah.
My body odor since starting carnivore seems foul. I've seen several people remove themselves from my proximity with a disgust look on their face. What could be causing this?
Well, how often are you washing? What are you eating exactly? Did you change your diet suddenly overnight? All of those kind of things. Give us more information, Bill. You smelly bastard. Yeah, we don't smell carnivores.
No.
No.
Question. Is it true that only time you made a mistake when you thought you made a mistake?
Yes. Exactly that. Yes, I did think I was wrong once, but I was mistaken about being wrong.
Oh.
I'm never wrong. I'm the science. I'm safe and effective. You look very cute in this little hat, young man. Isn't that just the thing?
It's to hide the bed hair.
The bed hair.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have any hair.
Oh. Question.
Yep.
1 year carnivore, mitral valve prolapse, severe. Operation is the only way, I suppose, right? Any advice?
Yeah, that's going to be a surgical repair if you've got a severe prolapse of a valve. Absolutely. That's the way it is. I would definitely, though, adopt and take up the 5 health hacks approach. Absolutely, in terms of managing that situation.
Next. My dad was worried about triglyceride ratio being high after doing carnivore for 2 years. Is this something he should worry about?
No, and I'll tell you why. If someone's triglyceride level was a factor in, for example, heart disease like it's touted to be, then if we took the triglyceride levels in patients who have had a heart attack in the last 24 hours in some hospital setting, what kind of graph would we get, do you think, Daniel, if we did that? If we took everyone who has had a heart attack, they've been diagnosed, they've definitely had a heart attack, let's look at their triglyceride levels. If triglyceride was involved in causing heart attacks, what would we find in these people's triglyceride levels?
A normal distribution.
No, that's what you wouldn't find. What we do find is the standard normal distribution, which means that it's not a cause and effect relationship, because if it was, we'd get a straight line, not a normal curve. We get a normal curve, ergo, nothing to worry about. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Yep.
Is my tinnitus a result of metabolic disease? Possibly.
It could be, yes. It could be also all sorts of things. I would get involved in listening to an Australian bloke called Liam Boehm, who has a channel called Liam Stops Tinnitus or Liam Cures Tinnitus or something like that. Good bloke.
Okay.
His whole thing is in helping people to stop their tinnitus.
Question.
Yes.
What causes atherosclerosis?
Right, that is a pretty simple, straightforward question, and the answer is also pretty straightforward. The cause of atherosclerosis heart disease is turbulent blood flow in certain areas of the vascular tree, leading to endothelial cell damage, either physical damage and or chemical damage, such as glycation and those kind of things, oxidation as well. And you have an injury, inflammatory situation going on there, caused by the turbulent blood flow in those vessels.
Okay.
Good. Hello, Dolly. Dolly's here. Dolly did it. It was Dolly.
Hello. Do you recommend drinking a specific amount of water daily, or just to drink until feeling satisfied?
The second thing. Drink according to your thirst. Hello, Scott.
Question.
Yes.
Had a rectum spasm last night. Does it have anything to do with my all-meat diet?
Probably not.
Nope.
Rectum spasm. Did you have any rectum spasms lately?
Nope.
No, neither.
No Majesty Pim today?
No, we have Private Field Marshal Dr. Ryan instead. Next week we might have the other Private Ryan as well.
Maybe.
If we can twist her arm. Or tie her to the chair, maybe. It's not compulsory, she doesn't have to. Yeah.
But she has to.
Oh, if you say so, that's a different thing. I can't tell her she has to.
Question.
Yes.
I guess at your compound allowed to use Wi-Fi during the day?
No, it's all regimented. They all march up and down the square all day, and they do drill practice, don't you?
Yep.
And it's no, there's no privileges here. No, they can't use the Wi-Fi because that way they would be able to communicate with the outside world, and we can't have that, can we?
Nope.
Also, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. No singing. There's no leaving. Private Ryan thinks he's leaving at the end of his stay. No. The other Private Ryan thinks she's leaving too. No.
Question.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on casein A1 milk? Is it truly as bad as people state it is?
For those that react badly to it, yes. Which is a certain population percentage. I think it's about 60%. 2/3 of people, something like that. Don't quote me on that, it could be wrong. But it's a high percentage. A lot of people are adversely affected by A1. I think I'm one of them, personally.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Is Magtane hyping themselves up or even a scam? I am taking magnesium.
Yep. Bisglycinate.
Yep.
Yeah, bisglycinate.
Thanks.
Mostly the intaking of nutritional supplements, like or whatever, mostly it's a waste of time. Everything you need nutritionally you can find in your carnivore diet. Eddie Goki's here. Good to see you, Eddie. We'll get to him in a minute.
Okay. Question.
Yep.
Is the claim that all life evolved from a common ancestor or mere inference or a fact?
It's a fact. An absolute, inescapable fact. All life is descended from one original progenitor. Yes.
Okay, cool.
How do we know that? Because we all work the same way. We all have DNA, RNA, and so do every other living thing on the planet.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it necessary to wash your teeth when you don't consume sugar and carbs?
It's less necessary, and you can do it less often and get away with it if you like.
I didn't brush this morning.
Did you not? That's because you woke up 10 minutes before the live stream started, and so
Yeah.
did I. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's 10 minutes to live stream, and I'm just waking up.
Who is this?
Right. This is
Private Ryan.
Private Ryan. We're saving Private Ryan today. Private Ryan is a woofer.
Woofer.
A woofer, which stands for something to do with worldwide opportunities on organic farms. Something.
Yep.
It's a term for people that come and stay on someone's farm and work there for board and keep. This is Private Dr. Field Marshal Ryan. Today we're saving Private Ryan. We have another Private Ryan here as well, Eddie. But she's not brave enough to be on camera just yet.
She might be sleeping still.
Probably. Should we slag her off?
Okay.
It's not.
Question.
Yep.
Should I worry about high lipoprotein A and
Apolipoprotein B,
Yeah.
100?
my ratio HDL triglyceride is 0.88?
No. All the lipids in your blood, the phospholipoproteins and the lipids and everything else in your blood are all under the control of your genes. Those genes that we were talking about before, that all come from one progenitor. Your genes have been around for something like, well, at least 3,800 million years. They really know what they're doing, and they need no input from anybody to tell them what to do or what level things should be, because they already know for themselves and they do it. No, you don't need to worry about that at all. None of those things are causally involved in heart disease, as is claimed by the medical professional. It's all a have.
Okay. Question. If I want to cheat,
Yep.
which of these is less problematic? 1,000 gram pizza or 500 gram chocolate cake?
They're both pretty terrible, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you want to do either of those things?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know which one's worse. They're both pretty terrible.
Oh, what? Question.
Yes.
Please, can I ask?
No, you can't ask any questions. We're not here for questions today. We're here to save Private Ryan. All right, already. Go on in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can salt cause high blood pressure, or is that a myth?
Salt can cause high blood pressure, yes, if your kidneys are not working as they normally should to excrete any excess sodium that you have. One of the best ways to prevent your kidneys from working properly to excrete excess sodium is to have chronically elevated blood insulin. The easiest way to achieve that is?
Ketosis.
No.
Oh.
Eat carbs. That's how you get insulin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was reading.
It's tough exactly when you're reading and you get asked a question and you're not listening. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Where am I up
I don't know.
to? Yeah.
Yep, that'll do.
Do you recommend drinking bone broth? Why or why not?
No, because it's not necessary. And because there is some thought about it maybe containing heavy metals.
Ooh.
Not so good. Lead and stuff.
Q. I
Yep.
like to eat nose to tail. Is it dangerous to eat the bum of animals, for instance, or nose or mouth?
What is wrong with people, Private Ryan? What is wrong with people? Why would you eat nose to tail? You are biologically designed, I guess, to eat the muscle meat and associated fat of large ruminant animals mostly. Ears, noses, and assholes? Not so much.
Nope.
It's probably not dangerous, but why the hell would you eat an animal's asshole? What is wrong with you?
Question. If calories are useless for the body composition, how would you coach a bodybuilder to get into shape for a competition? With macros only?
Pretty much. Yep, I would get them into the right ratio of the right macros and get rid of the wrong ratios of the wrong macros. And obviously training plays a pretty significant role in the process of getting in shape as a bodybuilder as well. I would also probably be counseling, I guess, a bodybuilder to maybe stop that. As in stop being a bodybuilder, because that's dumb. Yeah.
Unless you get paid.
Well, unless you get paid a lot of money, and then it's probably still a bit dumb, but whatever. Yep. What's
Question.
next? Yep.
Why is it that the majority of people have a hard time believing this information? Is it true? Is it because mainstream information leaves most people unwilling to change their minds?
What I have found in general is that, on average, people are immensely stupid. And as such, they are vulnerable to someone in a perceived position of authority saying something to them repeatedly with confidence enough that they think it's true, adopt that line themselves, and then go off repeating it as if it's a fact, without ever actually critically analyzing what it is that's been said to them, and without showing any sort of, I guess, sign that there's actually anything going on in their brain at all. That's my guess.
Okay.
Yep. People are stupid, aren't they, Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Question. My carnivore kids, age 1 and 2,
Yep.
want raw milk all the time. I find it hard to encourage them to eat. Once in a blue moon, they'll be keen.
Yep.
Is this fine, or should I be working harder to get them to eat?
Well, milk is food,
Milk is food.
especially for a 1 and 2 year old. That's fine. If that's what they want, if that's their instinct, probably a pretty good one. Are we keeping you up?
No.
Are we keeping you up, Private? Goodness gracious. What's going on here in my area?
Question.
Yes.
Can I drink raw blood after working out to replenish iron and blood hematocrit?
Yes, you can. Hematocrit is the word.
Hematocrit.
Yes, you can, absolutely, if you want to. You don't need to, mind, but you can. There are other ways of getting the nutrition you require after working out. But blood's fine, you can.
Do we have more questions? Here.
Good. Thank you very much for the $5. That will keep the lights on just long enough for Ted to, I don't know, Ted.
If my glucose stays in the 90s,
Yep.
not above 120 after eating, but my insulin is low, should glucose be a concern? I am carnivore.
On a carnivore diet, your insulin response should be quite blunted. You shouldn't get a big spike. And low according to what? On the basis of what? According to whom? That all sounds fine.
Okay.
If you're asking, is it okay for you to eat glucose? The answer is no. No, it isn't. Still. You don't need any glucose. Good.
Question.
Yes.
Would having a couple of milk-based coffees per day be a concern with regard to the inflammatory response to a meal?
That sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Yep.
The
it
echo's
does.
good in here. The answer's the same as it was before.
I've heard a very interesting idea that pre-human apes, as they wandered into the savannah, would have exploited bone marrow of scavenging animals. Do you think bone marrow, not bone broth, is good for you?
Sure. No problem with eating bone marrow if you want to. You don't need to, but you can.
I think that's the last.
Well,
Yeah, carnivore muscle.
Jonathan, how are you, mate?
Question.
Yes.
How might someone track glycation from fructose? If they were proponents of deep-throating large bananas.
There isn't a commercially available or widely available test for glycation from fructose because it's not considered to be an issue, a likely issue, a big issue, ergo, no big deal. Even though fructose is something like 7 to 11 times more problematic than glucose is, it's just not even considered as such. A test could be devised, but there isn't one that's floating around currently because it's not thought of as a big deal. Good to see you, Jonathan, by the way. Very nice. Fully laden swallows in the house too. Good to see you. Great. What's the next QQ?
Question. It's the glucose in my 90s routinely that I'm concerned with.
I wouldn't be concerned. Glucose in the 90s is fine.
Q. Hi, guys. How many calories have you spent working the farm? 0.
None.
Yep.
Good. No, we don't use any calories. Calories are units of heat energy for those who are just tuning in and don't know why this is funny. Humans don't run on heat energy. If we did, we could just sit in the sun for our nutrition, couldn't we? Like Private Ryan did yesterday. Lots of sitting in the sun.
I got so many calories, I wasn't hungry.
There you go.
Yep.
But still, when the teas came out and there was carbs on offer, I had some too. I had 2 sausage rolls and a little spicy pie thing.
Yeah, the pea one.
Yes, it had peas in it. You're right. A pea pie.
I just wanted to hear him say it. Thanks for your answer.
You're welcome, Jonathan.
Comment.
Yes.
After quitting carbs, all my dental plaque disappeared. Only brush once a week.
I find the same. You know that furry feeling that you get on your teeth if you haven't brushed your teeth and you're eating carbs? That's all down to the bacteria that love carbs doing that. You stop eating carbs and they just go away and you have clean, shiny teeth all the time.
Yep.
I'm brushing probably 3 or 4 times a week instead of 3 or 4 times a day, personally.
Question.
Yes.
Is it true that every calorie I consume must somehow be burnt to remain the same weight?
No, it is not. You cannot consume calories. That is impossible. There is no way to consume a calorie, and you can't burn them either because they don't burn, and calories have no mass whatsoever, so they cannot affect your weight at all. So all in all, I think you know as well as I do, Jeff, that your question is formulated in the fantasy realm, not science. Trust me, I'm the science. I'm safe and effective. Don't ever question me. The science is beyond reproach. It's settled is the science. I'm settled. And are you settled?
Yeah.
Oh, you can be the science too then. Private Ryan is also the science. I mean, Private Dr. Field Marshal Ryan.
Yep. Okay. Question.
Yep. Yes.
How bad is industrial air pollution for your health?
Depends on what level of pollution we're talking about in various different places around the world and the makeup of that pollution. It's a variable answer question.
I believe some pollution is actually lectins.
In the environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
All right.
Question.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Go on then.
But you've said there's no such thing as an anaerobic respiration. How is this so?
Yes, you are wrong. I didn't say that. What I said is in higher animals, higher beings, multicellular beings, that anaerobic respiration does not occur. And I said that because it's correct. It does not occur. All respiration is reliant entirely upon oxygen in beings such as humans. This idea that we have an anaerobic pathway is correct, but we do not have anaerobic respiration because it cannot function in isolation to the aerobic pathway. They are gears in a gearbox that are concomitantly working off each other. Yes, good.
Thoughts on dry fasting?
Yes, it's a useful tool at various times in the toolkit that can be used for various purposes. Excuse me. Good stuff, dry fasting. I can't do more than 3 days personally myself. Well, 3.5 is my limit, it seems, on dry fasting. Others seem to be able to go much longer.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
I have additional bone tissue forming on my front teeth. Not chipped, definitely new bone. Why would my genes transcribe for this adaptation? I'm all about the meat. Great to see you too.
Not sure, Jonathan. I would put that in front of a dental specialist and find out what's going on and what needs doing, if anything.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you guys still in the wait for Fox Hill? What?
I guess that means in the Waiiti Fox Hill area. Loosely. We're still in the Tasman district. Pimbatia is some distance from Fox Hill, where we used to be. We used to be about 1 kilometre from Fox Hill, and now we're about 20 minutes from Fox Hill. We're at the back of Tapawera in a place out there.
Don't dox yourself.
Whatever.
Okay. Is this live?
Yes. Right now. It's happening as we speak. Are you live?
No.
Nope, I'm not live either. I'm still half asleep.
Me too.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Would taking my antidepressants, which I'm weaning off, would my cereal tabs be hindering them from doing their thing?
No, not at all. There are no known interactions between cereal products and any pharmacological drug of any kind to speak of, except that they can interfere with the activities of blood thinners a bit. Yes. What's in that?
Water.
Water. You got water?
Yep.
He's got water. I've got coffee in mine. Coffee with goat milk.
Question.
Yep.
If you were to be prescribed ketamine infusions for pain, how would you best mitigate damage and potential negative effects? I completely appreciate you can't make medical claims.
Yeah. I wouldn't take ketamine for pain personally. I just wouldn't do it, Jonathan, at all. That's how I would mitigate it. I would sooner be in pain than take ketamine personally. That's just me.
Okay.
Mm.
Question.
Yeah.
The water lost at the beginning of a diet, where was it stored? In glycogen? Why was it lost?
Part of it was bound up with glycogen, yes. Some of it is in the central venous blood pool. Some of it is in the blood pool. Some of it's in the extracellular fluid. There are different compartments in which the water is stored, for want of a better term. And when you, for want of a better term again, when you toss that off at the beginning of a diet, it comes off from those areas in a pattern predetermined pretty much by your genetic disposition. Years. Love it.
Question. But are you seeing any health improvements from the carnivore diet, or have they plateaued?
I think I continue to live a life which is plus or minus carnivore. I'm floating around 90-95% most of the time. I've never claimed to be 100% carnivore, and I never have been for more than 30 to 60 days at a time for a challenge. My health is pretty consistent, and it's pretty good, I think, especially for a man of my age. I'm pretty happy with things. I could go 100% carnivore for an extended period to get those benefits if I wanted to. I just don't find myself feeling the need to do that because I'm pretty happy with my health as it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need the sugar sauce.
That's right, sugar sauce. A bit of barbecue sauce on the meat. Tasty stuff.
Question.
Yep.
What are the universal tools for discerning quack studies from legitimate ones?
Yep.
What are red flags to watch for,
Yep.
especially if one does not understand all the terminology?
Yes. Red flags certainly in human health science papers are statements about cause and effect. This causes that. That's a red flag straight away. Statements of like in the introduction of a paper, LDL is known to cause heart disease, full stop, no reference given, for example. That's a red flag because it's not true. Most of the tools you need are tools that really are the sort of thing that are at the disposal of scientists who understand these things. The best way to get a good handle on that is to watch all my videos 100 times, binge watch the lot, and comment on them and put them on your social media feeds and send me all your money. And don't question me because I'm the science and I'm safe and effective. I mean, I need all your money because how else am I going to feed the privates Ryan or the Ryan's privates? How am I going to feed your privates?
I can stand in the sun and get calories.
Yes, there you go. Good.
Okay.
Love it.
Question.
Yes.
I've lost a lot of weight on carnivore, but I am experiencing stretch marks.
Yeah.
Any tips to reduce the appearance of them?
Yes. Dry fasting is a good tool in that regard, as is my patented 5 health hacks that you need to know on my video that's called 5 health hacks you need to know. I would get into all of that. AFA night cream from the fine folks at Cerule is good as well. That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Why do proteins stimulate insulin to store amino acids in muscle?
Yes, that's why.
Okay.
Yep, good.
To activate growth
Good.
and repair.
Well done. What do you think of Daniel's name?
Daniel Fernandez.
Yeah, well, just his first name. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think he stole mine.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Stole it. There you go. Give it back, Daniel.
Yes.
Daniel wants it back, don't you, Daniel?
I had it first.
Well, we don't know that. He might be older than you.
Oh.
In which case you stole his.
My parents reserved mine.
Did they?
No. Question.
Yes.
Is there anything diet-wise that could help dandruff?
Yep.
I was veg for ages, so it might be just keeping up with the program. Thanks.
Yeah, I think the best thing that a person can do is to live the most anti-inflammatory lifestyle possible, and that is by virtue of the 5 health hacks that you need to know about on my fine channel. I would do those 5 things. That's not a guarantee that will solve the problem, but it puts you in a position where it's least likely that you will have dandruff. The other thing you can do to not have dandruff is lose all your hair at 28 years of age. My word, that was a long time ago.
Okay.
I still remember having hair. When I was young and virile, instead of just virile and not young, I had like the full ringlets halfway down my back. I used to play rock guitar and sing in a band. It was all about the music, me.
Okay.
Yep.
Question. Do you think RFK Jr. and the Make America Healthy Again movement will make any significant difference to people's health?
Depends on how much pushback they get and how much they actually are able to make some of the changes that they're trying to make, because let's be honest, there is a lot of money and power behind this evil movement, and of course they will defend that hill. So the fact that he's been confirmed and he's got the job is only step one. To actually change the way a nation thinks and behaves is a tough ask, I think.
What is your opinion on treating neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's with the lion diet?
It's a good idea to eat a species-appropriate, species-specific diet, whether you have Alzheimer's or whether you don't.
Okay. Do you think the body can still properly absorb type 1 and 3 marine collagen peptides in occasional hot chocolate or coffee?
Yep, mostly.
Do we get to sing today?
Oh, yes, they'll be singing. Oh, yes.
Question. Can we trust psychiatrists and their diagnoses since nothing about psychiatry seems to be objective and empirical, and what about their drugs?
I wouldn't trust most psychiatrists as far as I can throw them, personally. It also seems like just about anybody can be a psychiatrist. It's not even hard. Paul Sellard, I don't know, as a psychiatrist, for example. So it can't be hard. No, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw them. I'm joking a little bit. Pardon us, star.
Question.
Yes.
If I should eat 116 grams of protein per day, maths, how much how much uncooked meat should I get?
About 4 times will give you the right weight of uncooked meat, give or take. So you'd take the 116 grams and you'd multiply that by 4, and that's the weight of meat before it's cooked.
Okay.
Are you playing with your privates, Private? Or is Ted twiddling the knobs? Ted, what are you doing? Oh, I'm twiddling the knobs. Yep. What do you think of Milana's surname? It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yep.
I like it.
For dandruff, what helped me was putting honey on my scalp. It's antifungal.
Sure.
That's how I know. That's also how I got tempted to eat lots of it. So watch out.
So hopefully, though, you didn't get tempted to eat the honey that you'd already smeared all over your head, because that would be yucky. And yes, honey is antibacterial, antifungal. It's good stuff topically for burns, all sorts of things. Honey does definitely have its place in the universe, but it's not as food. I would say about your surname, though, Milana, that I think the second and third letters are entirely redundant, aren't they? What's next?
Question.
Yep.
About 4 months on Carnivore, I have an infection that requires an antibiotic and an anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Some issues that had resolved re-emerged. Is there something you can advise to help resolve?
There's 5 health hacks. Again, same 5 health hacks on that video on my channel called 5 health hacks you need to know about. I do all 5 of those things. Not 4 of them, not 3 of them. The number of the counting shall be 5. And to 5 shalt thou count. To 6 shalt thou not count. Neither shalt thou count to 4, save by then thou then continuest to 5. 6 is right out of it, really.
Okay.
5 health hacks.
To Super chat.
Yes, we love
Two-
super chats. Thank you.
2 years ago, I squatted no weight for too long. Ever since chronic knee pain when binding my legs. Any natural way to ease the pain?
5 health hacks would be a good start. And don't do silly things in the gym anymore. Only do sensible indicated things in the gym.
How about this one?
Yep.
Bart, you called me an insolent person in a comment response. You hurt my feelings. Can you please apologize?
Oh, well, I'm very, very sorry I hurt your feels. How's that? Did you want a sincere apology? Because you're not going to get one of those. I probably called you insolent because you were being insolent.
Do you remember?
No, I call a lot of people insolent because a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Question.
Yep.
Can 1 hour of direct sun gazing at lunch be beneficial to one's health?
What do you mean direct sun gazing? Do you mean staring directly at the sun? In which case the answer is no, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. Why the fuck would you do that?
Question. Shouldn't we be concerned about the industrial process used to create collagen supplements? I've also seen that high levels of lead and other heavy metals have been found in some of them.
Sure. Fine. Yep. Absolutely.
A psychiatrist admitted to me that his job consisted of prescribing 1 of 10 possible drugs to treat whatever condition appeared.
Yep. And they don't treat any conditions. They are symptom management.
Okay, question.
Yep.
Any points of view on microdosing Ozempic as per Dr. Tyner is speaking about? I hear carnivores are getting further weight loss results with this when they're in a plateau. Lots of talk.
I wouldn't touch Ozempic with a barge pole. I would not put that into my body in any amount, micro or macro dose whatsoever. No, I wouldn't do that. That's not the appropriate way to encourage your body composition to optimize. Bad idea. Oh, I have a bruise on my leg from a cricket ball yesterday.
Oh,
Inside leg, whether you don't have a pad. Hello, Claire. Good to see you.
Dr. Georgia Ed seems to have it right. She's a psychiatrist who knows that diet matters.
Yeah, not all psychiatrists are idiots, just most of them, Claire.
Question.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on HIIT exercises?
They are good.
Okay.
If correctly formulated and executed in the right dose, the right number of times a week, etc.
Question.
Yep.
Is it normal to be pooping up to 3 times a day?
No, it is not.
Nope. Question.
Yep.
I put my carnivore meal plan into a calculator for micronutrients.
Yes, that's not a question. Do you see how that's not a question? There is no question there whatsoever. Does it carry on? Is there a part 2?
Maybe.
Good. What's next?
QQQ.
3 questions. You only make sure you send them the bill for 3 questions. For this, yeah, go on.
Okay. Is it true that nitric oxide can unclog arteries? How best to increase levels naturally? Does the supplement Citrulline increase nitric oxide?
Not unclog arteries, no. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, which means that the vagal tone, the muscular contraction of the veins is reduced so that the diameter of the lumen of those vessels increases. It's one of the ways that blood pressure management occurs as part of the homeostatic mechanism. There are many ways to increase your nitric oxide level naturally, and citrulline is thought to be one possibility, sure.
Q.
Yes.
Wait, was there an apology for the insolent?
No, it wasn't really, Tracy. I was being quite sarcastic about being apologetic. Frankly, if someone is that much of a snowflake that me calling you insolent is going to hurt your feels seriously, you're probably in the wrong place. I'm here to educate people. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm not here to pansy around and pussyfoot around people.
Yep.
Good.
Super sticker.
We like it. A super sticker, 20 Australian dollars. We'll put that in the bank. We'll use that for Ted's fund. The TED fund.
I put my carnivore meal
Yep.
plan into a calculator.
Yep.
I completely lack magnesium and vitamin C, and I lack calcium and potassium and vitamin K.
How do you feel? What is your affect in the universe? Do you have any symptomology of any kind of deficiencies whatsoever? Because probably not. Such calculators are actually not able to make prognostic statements about anybody. They're just based on what the recommended intakes of various things are, and the recommended intakes are not based on science at all. You're having problems with the hat.
Question.
Yes.
Sprinting kills my knees every time. Is there any other exercise you would recommend?
There are many different exercises that you can undertake if sprinting is a problem for you. Depending on your age and stage and what's causing the knee problem, I would be involved, I guess, or interested in prescribing all sorts of different things. Maybe aqua jogging is a good one. Various forms of weight training, resistance training are good. Perhaps not so much body weight, body loading, impact stuff if you've got a problem with your knee, depending on what the problem is, etc.
Yeah.
The question's quite general. Be specific, folks.
Question.
Yep.
My knee clicks when I bend down. Only one of them. Anything to fix it or a problem? Minor discomfort.
A lot of people have clicky joints. All sorts of things can cause clicky joints. If it's not a real problem for you, it probably doesn't need fixing. It's like that thing, the old joke where someone goes into the doctor's office and says, Doctor, it hurts when I do this. And the doctor says, well, don't do that.
Super chat.
Yes.
I heard that fructose increases uric acid.
You heard right. It does.
In turn, inhibits the production of nitric oxide.
Perhaps. Perhaps. It's a rich tapestry. It's not a definite thing. It's a yes, that can happen.
If true, then honey and fruit is a disaster to our health.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Honey and fruit is not a good thing. You shouldn't base your diet on honey or fruit. Paul, salad, I don't know.
Question.
Yes.
Are there health benefits to red light lamps like chicken lamb?
If you get the right spectrum of red light at the right intensity, then yes, there are potential benefits for things like mitochondrial function. What's wrong with me today? I can't speak. Is it because I didn't sleep enough?
Maybe.
Maybe it was too much sunshine at the cricket yesterday. It certainly wasn't too much competence at the cricket that caused the problem. We got fisted yesterday. We got beat badly. Very badly indeed.
Question.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on rebounding exercise?
They can be good, used in the right way, at the right intensity, for the right amount of time on the right schedule. Good stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Not for everybody, though. If you've got a bad knee, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, for example. Not a question, really.
Not a question, really. I notice how awful my teeth feel when I eat honey, or even worse, from fruit.
Yeah.
Yet another reason why Paul Saladino is wrong. Why recommend food harmful to the body?
Because Paul is giving people good news about bad habits, because people like that, and it's very marketable to give people good news about bad habits and lie to people, basically, and to paint himself as being competent to speak about human nutrition, when in fact he's not at all.
Okay.
You don't see me running around being a psychiatrist, do you? Because I'm not one. In the same way that he's not a nutritionist.
Move on.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
LDL 500, total 600. Doc, I'm sure I'm going to die soon.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not. That's perfectly fine. It's not an issue at all. Your LDL and total cholesterol are both under the influence of your genes still, and you are the peak of evolution. Your genes are the absolute peak of evolution to this point. Those genes really do know what they're doing. They don't need any help from your doctor.
Question.
Yeah.
Is it true that fructose is 10 times more glycating than glucose?
The numbers I've seen is anywhere between 7 and 11, so that does include 10, potentially. Somewhere between 7 and 11 times worse, depending on which papers you read.
Okay.
Yep.
Question.
Yep.
Is melatonin okay to take if you suffer from insomnia?
Yes, I think so. Short term, though. I don't think you should become dependent on that for sleep, and I don't think you should take it for more than, let's say, a week at a time. Personally.
Okay. Question.
Yep.
What exercise are you doing these days, mate?
Working around the farm 3 to 4 days a week. Playing cricket once a week, very badly, and getting fisted yesterday. And other weeks doing the fisting. It's a bit up and down, really. It's been one of those seasons. It has been. So, yeah.
Okay, super
That's
chat.
better. Yep, good.
Just wanted to say that I love you, Professor Bart.
Thank you. I love you too, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I always tell people that you're the one and only stop for human nutritional advice. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate that very much. The vote of confidence really does fill my heart with joy.
Mm-hmm. Question.
Yes.
I guess at the compound allowed to cuddle with Bart at night if they can't sleep.
If they want to. Neither one of them seems to be that keen on cuddling, though, except maybe with the dogs. For some reason, the dogs are more appealing to cuddle than poor old Ted. He gets left out.
Maybe not Amy.
Amy is, I think she's losing the plot. That's Professor Snooze, for those that know her as such. Ever since the privates, Ryan and Ryan's privates have been here, she just sits there and stares at him and barks at him for no reason. She's a dick. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yes, but yes, absolutely. The privates, Ryan and Ryan's privates are more than welcome to cuddle if they want to. But they have their own things going on. I'm sure.
Question.
Yep.
What advice would you have for those with gastritis trying to adopt a carnivore diet?
I always say that you should change your diet from whatever it is to whatever you want it to be, slowly, glacially, over a number of weeks. Never change your diet suddenly overnight. That's a very important thing. Gastritis can be positively affected by a peptide known as BPC157. It's experimental, but you can get it from Amazon. It's perfectly safe and effective, so it is. It's just 13 amino acids in a chain. That's Bravo Poly Charlie 157. It stands for Body Protective Compound. It's good stuff. I've used it. It's good for gastritis and gastric function, and also soft tissue injury repair. Again, no, just purely out of some kind of precautionary thing. Just a month course at a time, 500 to 800 micrograms per day in tablet form, and then go off it for a bit.
Nope.
Yep.
Farm carries lol.
Lol. Yes, the farmers carry. I do a bit of farmers walks, carrying things around. Yes.
Question.
Yep.
Which of Oceania, America or Europe has the best and most credible science in your opinion? Is it the America with people like Attia or Huberman, or Oceanic with David Sinclair?
Neither of those people is remotely credible as a scientist in my mind. While both have some success as scientists with a number of publications to their name, that doesn't mean that either one of them actually is a good scientist doing good science. And I don't really think of the science as belonging to a given continent or country just because one of the scientists or a number of the scientists come from a certain country. The science is borderless. And I'm the science. Trust me, I'm safe and effective, and don't question the science. The science is settled.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on meat packed in plastic?
Not a good idea. But it happens. What am I going to do about it? Other than grow my own beef, which we're doing. Yes. And we've just introduced a bull to our lady cows. So we'll be making some more beef soon. Well, we won't. They will. We won't do anything, will we, Private Ryan? We'll just let them do it, really.
I've used around 1K worth of BPC.
BPC 157. Yep. Good.
Okay.
Yep. So Jonathan's been, among other things, recovering from surgery on his back. So that's a good indication for BPC 157 as a soft tissue repair agent. Tell us more, Jonathan. Do you think it was effective? Do you think it helped? Was it magic or was it just me? and £1,000. Was it worth £1,000? I don't know. You tell us. Good.
Okay.
Yep.
Question.
Yep.
I've heard a lot about the BPC compound.
Yep.
What does it claim to do for the body?
Well, it's very, very good for gastric function and repair of damage to the gastric tract. And it's also very good for soft tissue repair. I used it for a period when I tore my Achilles tendon a couple of years ago. And it was really good for the healing of the acute injury phase.
Okay.
That was my finding. Others may have found differently.
Q-Bar.
Yes.
Have you tried oxtail?
Yes, love it.
My favorite.
I used to eat a lot of oxtail soup when I was a kid. My dad used to make it. Yeah.
What advice do you have to keep a full head of hair?
Well, I'd be the last person to ask about that, wouldn't I?
Okay.
I'd talk to Dr. Abs. He's the dermatologist specialist. He's good on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where is Abs? Abs is usually here for the live streams. Abs, where are you? Goodness.
Question.
Yep.
Will you be the one going elbow deep, turning a breech calf around?
Yeah, I hope not. I don't really, that's not something I'm looking forward to, the potential of having to do. Really?
I think we're out of questions.
Well, ask some more questions then, for goodness sake, people. Yes. Or in the meantime, we could do some promotions, couldn't we? While people are thinking of questions. Here are some promotions. Number 1, Private Ryan. You are promoted to Field Marshal, apparently, for this live stream.
Yep.
Also, we're promoting you to Doctor. So you're Dr. Field Marshal Private Ryan. Other promotions. If you'd like to become a private here in Pimbatia and do some stuff here on the farm and stay here for free and stuff, let us know. And we'll see if we can organize that. There's plenty of work to do, isn't there? Yep.
Okay.
Good. Also, another promotion just before we move on. Hardcore Carnivore Stem Enhance is available. If you live in Australia or New Zealand, you can get it. We are the test market. That's what it looks like. Hardcore Carnivore Stem Enhance. What is the difference between that and the standard formulation of Stem Enhance? This is the standard. The cellulose capsule in the standard has been replaced in the Hardcore Carnivore with a bovine gel capsule. Isn't that good? And also the flow agent in the standard Stem Enhance is an inert rice starch. We've got that out of there, and instead we're using silica as a flow agent, pretty much. And also this one contains fucoidin, and the Hardcore Carnivore doesn't at this time. Not that fucoidin comes from a plant or is a plant, it isn't. It comes from seaweed, which is an algae. But nonetheless, it's out of there, actually mostly because of a supply issue than anything else. But the real point is, Hardcore Carnivore Stem Enhance is available for your ordering pleasure right now, if you're in Australia or New Zealand. And if we don't buy it, then the rest of the world doesn't get it. We're the test market. So don't let the rest of the world down, because they'll come looking for us, won't they? And they'll probably send Ted. And he will bring his bucket of soapy frogs and that wetsuit with the bottom cut out. Have you had a late night visit from Ted since you've been here, Private Ryan?
Not yet.
Not yet. If you've been a good boy, that's probably why. If you're a bad boy, Ted will show up late at night. You don't want that.
No.
That would be worrying. Right, let's have Jonathan's question.
It's
his answer to my question. BPC wasn't magic. Okay.
it was effective for issues which would otherwise resolve on their own. Any joint issues or minor strains, I think, is a good hack.
Yep.
Be careful with BPC. There are...
Yep. Next one down. There it is. Below. Yeah. Good.
There are several variations of the BPC molecule.
Yep.
You want the arginine HCI version, 500 mcg for gastric issues, once or twice per day.
Good, good. Lovely. Thank you for the input there, Jonathan. Good stuff. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Latecomer. You'll have to report to Ted for being late and do dusters afterwards. Yes.
Question.
Yep.
Could I get the name of that dermatologist you recommended following again?
Yes, Dr. Abs. ABS.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Dr. Abs. You'll find him on the YouTubes. Good bloke.
Question.
Yep.
How many acres in Pimbadia?
40-something. It's big. We have huge tracts of land. So we do, and no singing.
Question, Bart.
Yep.
Have you heard of Michelle Hearn?
Name rings a bell, yeah.
A registered dietitian who bravely spoke against the government recommendations. Might have a good interview.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard of Michelle. Yep. It is a name I've heard.
Thanks. Oh, that's no question.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the advice, Bart.
Mm.
Again,
Mm.
is BPC 157 as effective taken orally as injected?
Yes, it is.
Any particular time of day?
No, it doesn't matter. And empty stomach doesn't matter either. It seems. No. Good.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Does multiple angle training make sense for increasing fiber recruitment, or does only weight intensity matter?
It can do, depending on the needs of the athlete and all sorts of other factors. Exercise physiology and exercise programming is no simple matter to just toss off comments about, really. You probably want to have a consultancy with me. It's a consultancy issue. Yes.
I think that's all the questions.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Good. We finished earlier than usual.
Wow, 40 acres is huge.
Yes, we have huge tracts of land. And most of it is not even grazed yet, because we don't have enough animals to graze it all. We have grass up to our armpits in many parts of Pimbatia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked we haven't already lost Ryan's privates in the long grass.
Oh. Okay.
Although he's less likely to get lost than me because he's taller than I am. But that's not hard. That's no great achievement, really. Right.
Question.
Yes.
What's the correlation with food and dreams?
What's the question, Scott? There is a correlation between all sorts of things. What's your point? Not sure what the question was. Yep.
Question.
Yep.
Why do some people have several filmed interviews with you, such as Saladino or Stefano, later deny ever even knowing or recognizing your name?
I suspect that these people probably have nightmares about me. Because as soon as you lose the plot and are no longer worthy of respect, you don't get any more from me.
Thoughts on Dr. Stein Ekberg and his nutrition advice, good or bad?
I've heard the name. I haven't really paid much attention to anything that he has to say, so I don't really know.
And put a cube for your question.
Yes, do put a Q before your question, otherwise Ted might not see it. And then it won't come up on the screen.
You guys killed it this evening. Lots of sucky.
Succinct is the word. Succinct,
Yeah.
yep.
Helpful.
Lots of
insight
sucky.
again.
Oh, yes, come to Pimbatia for lots of sucky. That's what we do here.
Thanks so much. These streams are well worth attending.
Not at all. Thank you, Jonathan. We love you here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Any more questions?
No? No more questions? Very good. Loads of sucky. Loads of sucky is what goes on here. And lots of cuddles with Ted. And or with the Field Marshal, if you want. Just nobody wants. Just me all by myself.
Okay.
I'm Ronry.
Question.
Ronry. Poor little me.
Example, I had lobster last night and had totally different dreams than usual.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. I still don't know what your question is, really. Are we speculating on correlations? I don't know.
What's the correlation with food and dreams?
Yeah. Well, who knows? That's a rich tapestry. Ask a psychiatrist, but ask a decent one. So not Paul Salad, I don't know.
Question.
Yep.
Could someone turn Bart's debate tactics against him and say carnivore claims are just opinions and inferences? How would you respond?
Many have tried to do exactly that. And it doesn't work for them because I go, yeah, that's right. My position is that there is no good science underpinning any theological belief in any dietary intervention or dietary pattern or any of these. There is no science in terms of experimental science on humans that exists. So I'm quite happy to absolutely state that that's a fact, because it is a fact. Then I turn around and say, but if we look at what inferences do exist in terms of our anthropological past, our organ systems, positive and negative selection pressures around that, the stable isotope testing that absolutely confirms what human beings absolutely have been eating for millennia, then it all falls into place and makes perfect sense. At the end of the day, the diet wars will continue, and people will continue to have opinions and theologies about it, precisely because there is no science. If we had the answer from the science, then the discussion would be over, wouldn't it? There'd be nothing to talk about. Well, I say that, but then there are still people running around saying the earth is flat, aren't there? I'll give you a hint. It's not fucking flat. Okay? If you think the earth is flat, you're in the wrong place.
Question.
Yes.
If you could ask any question whatsoever and have the accurate answer, what would it be? Fun or serious?
Oh, God. If I could ask one question of whom and have the accurate answer, what would it be? Don't know. If you could ask anybody in the world one question, Private Ryan, what would you ask?
Ooh. I'm not sure either.
This is my Zoidberg impression. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh.
Sorry, I was bored.
Should we answer it?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question.
Come back to it, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. If I think of something, Jonathan, I'll let you know.
Question.
Yep.
Did the witch from Chorley ever apologize for her mistreatment of you?
Of course not.
Okay.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
Question.
Yeah.
Is calorie dense also a misnomer since a food doesn't contain any heat energy?
Yes, it is. Misnomer. Yep.
Question.
Yep.
Have I ever asked about mucus production after a meal? Carnivore meal involving ground beef, grass-fed.
I don't know, have you? I don't think you've asked me that question.
Right.
And you just, that's a question you're asking me about whether you've asked a question about something, but you haven't actually asked any questions. What about mucus? Super chat, love it.
Why is no one mentioning that our sectum doesn't work anymore?
They are mentioning that. I mention it quite often.
That's enough to seal the deal.
Well, it's not, though. It's just part of the picture. It's a good point, and I do mention it often, but it's not all we need. It's just a good part of the argument.
Even ChatGPT admitted we are carnivores when confronted with that.
Well, anyone that asks ChatGPT about anything deserves the answer they get, really. Good.
Question.
Yep.
Do foam cells have any critical role in developing the plaque, or could it grow without them as a reaction to a chronic damage to the artery? If the level of LDL was magically near zero near this place,
If the level of LDL was magically near zero, then that person would die. Because with a level of LDL of 0, you will die very quickly. So the question doesn't make any sense. Do foam cells have a critical role in development of plaque? Yes, they do. Absolutely. Can a plaque grow without foam cells? Yes, it can. Absolutely. Yep.
okay.
Foam cells are the cells that develop when LDL becomes deranged by oxidation. Yep.
A little more love from Grandma.
Thanks, Grandma. We love you. And your $10.
Is Dr. Aloe a bot?
Dr. Aloe is an imbecile, a moron, a sufferer of Dunning-Kruger of the highest order, a singularly unattractive troll in every way, and not someone that's worth our time or energy or attention at all. Arlo is an imbecile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Yep.
Bart, you worked in academia.
Yes.
Did you like it?
No, I did not.
And would you recommend anyone to work in academia in any field?
I would not recommend that, no.
If there was any problems in academia, how would you fix them?
By rolling some heads, frankly, and getting some of the riffraff out of there.
Next question.
The problem with academia is that it's personed by people. People are awful. Yeah. Next. Yep, next.
If I remember a while back, you had a very smart parasite expert on your channel. What did you make of her?
Yeah, there was a woman that came on my channel that had a quite serious parasite problem herself, ongoingly, and she talked about her protocol a bit for dealing with it. But it's an ongoing issue, apparently, so the protocol can't be that effective if it has to be an ongoing issue. Yep.
Someone poo-pooed tallow to me as it might be where impurities are stored in the animal. Is there any validity to that? Thanks.
Well, possibly. But the toxins you might get from tallow are going to be probably a lot more innocuous than the ones that you will get from eating anything that comes from plants, because they're full of toxins, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any tips on dealing with keratosis pilaris?
I'll talk to Dr. Abs about that. That's his field of speciality, not mine. I'm not a dermatologist. He is. Ask him. Right.
Please put a Q in
Yes.
front of your question.
Indeed.
If you have thyroid issues, a carnivore diet may help reduce thyroid levels.
Yes, it may. It's possible. Absolutely. Right. Is that the last question? Good. That's about enough. That's about enough questions for one day anyway. So how did you think that Ryan's privates did in his first ever live stream presentation? I mean, Dr. Field Marshal Private Ryan. After the live stream, when you take that uniform off, you're demoted back down to private, by the way.
Okay.
You're busted. Ted said so. Because there's already too many field marshals in the meat militia. So we have to have some privates. Ryan's privates.
Hooray.
Private Ryan's. Yes, hooray for Ryan's privates, indeed. And next week, if you'd like to have the other Private Ryan on the live stream, either instead or as well, then you should probably make lots of comments about how the other Private Ryan should bring her privates to the show as well.
Oh, well, we're going to have a vote on names.
Yeah. Oh, we were going to have a vote on the names for animals, but we kind of decided we wanted to name the new bull that arrived during the week. And the other Private Ryan came up with it, actually.
Angus No,
I was going to call it Angus McAngry, but she decided he should be called Snuggles.
Yeah.
So Snuggles it is. Snuggles the bull. Very good. Right, so yes, if you'd like Ryan's privates, the other Ryan's privates, on the show next week, let us know. And we'll see if we can twist her arm to be on the show, or tie her to the chair or something.
Oh, that's my dad.
Hello, Dad. Good.
No more questions?
No more questions. Right. So that only leaves the usual, which is the singing of the national anthem of Pimbatia to close off proceedings for the day. And it's a little song about what you should have for breakfast. And it goes a little bit something like this. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast, Private Ryan. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. Just making sure you heard. I think they got it, Ted. What do you think, Private Ryan?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Right. So if you'd like to press that button there that says end stream, that's what'll happen.